marker, the Bikeriders review, guys. Get into action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
I'm Angela at that Calian.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. You know what to do, guys. Like, share, subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page. And thank you for tuning in to this movie review we got going on here, guys. Angela, what are we talking about today?
So I know this one has been on your radar recently.
It has.
Because you are a huge Austin Butler fan.
Yeah.
So we
not just that, but also a huge like Sons of Anarchy fan. So I'm into the biker.
Club, yeah.
I'm into family loyalty, whether it's brothers, whether it's brother from another mother, whether it's stuff like that. I love the unity, united people coming together for a greater cause or like a bigger thing than themselves.
And we had the special privilege of watching a early access with the live Q&A.
Yep.
Presented by the Alamo Draft House.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much for letting us come. We bought our tickets, but that was a really cool experience. We've been loving the Q&As recently with some of the films that they, have been coming out. So
yeah.
I will say that I think this is one for the books for everyone, and we are reviewing today The Bikeriders. The
Bikeriders, guys, tells of a story of inspired events after a chance encounter. Headstrong Kathy is drawn to Benny, member of Midwestern motorcycle club, the Vandals. As the club transforms into a dangerous underworld of violence, Benny must choose between Kathy and his loyalty to his club.
Talking about loyalty. Already.
Talk about Sons of Anarchy here,
I know.
So, one of the things I do want to say before, obviously we're going to be talking about this movie. We're not going to mention any spoilers, guys, so don't worry about that. No spoilers whatsoever. The backstory behind this movie was that this movie was supposed to come out last year, and it got shopped around between studios, and unfortunately, it got lost. And I was hoping that it would have gotten picked up last year, but initially this movie was supposed to come out last fall, and it got dropped, and then Focus Feature actually picked it up, or distribution rights and everything. So it was definitely a movie where I was kind of like, it was definitely going to be a missed. I would have said it would have been a missed opportunity, especially with the cast that they got and everything out of this film. Of course, this is also directed by Jeff Nichols as well. His fifth collaboration with Michael Shannon, by the way. Michael Shannon stars in here. Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, and of course the one and only who leads the way. It's not Austin Butler, by the way. It's not Elvis. It's Jodie Comer. Jodie Comer, who comes in here and really narrates the whole movie and everything. And here's the thing. So when we talk about like movies like this, when they're very well narrated throughout the whole movie, one of the things I really did, first off, I'm going to say, one of the things I really did appreciate about this movie, they really went into some details of the loyalty, the unity between different individuals, were something that's way bigger than themselves. That's really the reason why I loved Sons of Anarchy. That's the reason why I love like movies or even like the Godfather films. It's so loyalty towards family, and it's like blood thicker than wine or blood thicker than water. And even you go more in depth on it is the fact that Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, I gotta say Tom Hardy, I have not been loving his past recent films. Granted, I haven't liked any of the Venom movies. Take that with a grain of salt, whatever you want. But here's the thing, Tom Hardy has always done a great job when it comes to like these crime in-depth movies. There's a movie that I don't know if you've seen it. It's Lawless with Shia LaBeouf, and he's the brother. He's the older brother, and God, Tom Hardy just kills that movie. He is so great. He does the accent just like he does in this one. So that accent that I know we talked about, that accent, I was all like, it reminded me so much of Lawless because it's a southern, but it's not Chicago because takes place in Chicago, but it's a southern accent, and he does that so very well. But you can tell because he doesn't open his mouth too much. It's so very. If you haven't seen Lawless, you need to watch Lawless. It's about the moonshine prohibition that's happening around that time, peace and everything. But this is definitely in the 60s. And I gotta say though, Austin Butler, my boy Austin Butler, Angela doesn't like him for whatever reason.
No, he's okay. He's okay. I liked him a lot in Elvis. I think he had also talked about in the Q&A, he did the part in Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
I like him, but I don't love him as much as you do.
See, and that's the thing too, is that that's where we differ a little bit, but anyways, going back into this,
I do love Tom Hardy, though, I do love him. He's great, and I think I agree. He did fantastic in this role.
I mean, I love him as Bane as well. I mean, there's so many different roles. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah, oh yeah. And here's the thing. I love Tom Hardy more in other movies than Venom. That's so weird for me to say that, but it definitely is a weird time to say that. But I gotta admit, like I love him a lot more in these crime thriller movies, these different kind of films as well. And then I even liked him more in Fury Road than I did like him in Venom. And so we recently saw Mad Max Fury Road. So I definitely liked him more in that one.
Oh, it had a random cameo. A little bit more than a cameo from Norman Reedus.
Dude, that was cool. I didn't recognize him.
No, like I saw him like, the first 5 seconds. I was like, oh, that's Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. I know he's done this stuff, but that's where he's mainly from. But I leaned over in the theater. I was like, that's Norman Reedus. And then you're like, no, it's not. And then maybe scenes later, you're like, oh, it is.
It was the glasses.
It was the glasses. But I just recognize his face. But it was cool. I like the cast overall. I think all the cast was great. Yeah. They were like that nitty gritty, it's hard to describe because the original biker club that Tom Hardy's character had started, Johnny, were like, they did rough and tough and stuff, but they at the core were all about family and a little bit of respect. And it talks about later on how when all these new younger people start joining, that kind of changes things. Yeah. And they are very much like not as the same values, it's very different, and I liked how this story unfolded to tell that. And
it really focuses a lot on Tom Hardy's character, where like it was the peak of the respect that bikers haven't really. I mean, they're out. I don't want to say outlaws at that time because I would say that when the story unfolds and everything, whatever, it comes out that it becomes more gang-like later
like
in the
crime,
more gang, more like Sons of Anarchy in our time in that way. But this is definitely a movie to where like Tom Hardy plays Johnny, and Johnny is such a character that's so dynamic in his own way that even though he has a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 5 job or like an 8 to 5 job and a really good job to begin with as a truck driver and everything, it's not enough for him. He wants he has a family too. He has girls. He has a void that hasn't been filled yet. And I feel like that in many ways, even more so when you have side hobbies and everything, and they kind of more focus. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but they do focus like a hobby turns into this, and I love that because it's almost to where like it unravels and you kind of see where Johnny is like really inspired. He's inspired, and I love that because it goes back to where day one when I wanted to really start a movie channel like this, and it really brought me home on that part and everything, and Tom Hardy has this look that just like I just believe his look, and I believe the emotion that he grasps on there. I mean,
they all look good. Like whoever did the costume department, I think his name, fantastic. Yeah. I agree with you. I think Johnny's character was one of the most interesting ones in the film. Yes. I really loved his story and his arc and everything. You see him change over the years. And I know Austin Butler is one of like the main forefronts that is like advertised and stuff. But I feel like Johnny's character is a little bit stronger in a sense. Yeah, so we had talked about this. It's probably because he had more screen time. He had more screen time. He had more he definitely had more lines here. He definitely, that was one of the things I wish that Austin Butler would have gotten, was more in-depth character arc, and I feel like we didn't get that too much of it, or not at all really. And again, that's what, so I'm gonna go, I guess I'll revert to the negatives that I got out of this movie. So one of the negatives was that Austin Butler was kind of like, in a way, it wasn't the arc that he didn't even reach an arc for me, to be honest, but his character, Benny, Kathy, who's played, his wife. Yeah, who plays his wife and everything. She actually, I didn't mind her story at the time, but I gotta admit though, guys, here's the thing. When you go into this movie, I feel like that, and again, this is just my point of view, take it with a grain of salt, take it whatever you want. I'm telling you the truth though. This movie is definitely a slow burner movie. Not in a bad way, though. Not in a bad way. It builds up. There's a momentum here. It builds up. But definitely like the first, because it's kind of sets the tone. The first scene sets the tone. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And then it goes away. And I'm all like, okay, where's it going? And then I love it again. And then I'm all like, why are you doing this? And then it definitely had these scenes to where like I feel like that I could have got some of it out. But then more so, I know
know this is weird to say. I want it more in depth on the characters of the motorcycle club. I really want, because in reality, guys, I mean, again, I'm comparing this to Sons of Anarchy, right? Okay, whatever. But in reality, when you really connect with any character, with the audiences or with any audience, I feel like that you really have this emotional connection, whether you feel like Johnny, whether you feel like Benny, whether you feel like Zipko, which is cockroach. It doesn't matter. The point is that whether you have to connect with somebody, right? And I feel like that they missed a huge opportunity to do that. And for me, that's the I mean, it went of course into the rating and everything. I didn't love this movie. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I expected to though. But again, though, take it with a grain of salt. Take it whatever you want. But I'm telling you right now, I did not love this movie. Yeah. Austin Butler's. I'm a huge fan of Austin Butler. This is definitely Tom Hardy's and Jodie. What do you call it? Kathy.
Kathy's character. Yeah.
This definitely both of their movies. It's definitely both of their film in here and everything. They both have this character arc for both of them, and you definitely have this sorrow with Tom Hardy a lot because you get to see when he started, you get to see the inspired events that occurred,
the conflicts.
The conflicts that keep happening. And I gotta say though, Michael Shannon is great in here, man. When Michael Shannon surprises me almost every single time he's on camera. There's so many different movies and TV shows itself that I've seen him in that are just so great.
He's so versatile too. Yeah. Like he plays like a weirdo in this one, but
but he's good at it.
He's so good at what he does. He can do so many different characters, and I really like that about him.
He's General Zod. He's White Death in Bullet Train. He's there's so many different characters.
He's done so many things. I will say what I will agree with you. It is, like you say, a slow burner. It's not like
slow burner.
Action, crime, big scene. It's not like that. So I would not go into this expecting big moments of like badassness. It's not. It tells a story of this club, and it does focus on some of the members. But I agree. I wish I had learned a little bit more about the other members, because it really mainly focuses on from Kathy's point of view, from the wife's point of view. She's the one narrating. She's the one recounting the story. And what I did appreciate though in the live Q&A, they did say they had derived it from source material, so the actual interview tapes from her they used to write her narration parts for her script. So I thought that was really, really cool. I appreciate that it's sticking to authenticity. Granted, the story is fictional, but
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I had a problem with. Again, I'm going crazy here, guys, saying this. I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe this, guys. Moviegoers out there. Put in comments down below. What did y'all think of the Bikeriders? Put in comments down below. But here's the thing. With me right now, I can't believe I'm saying this. I wanted more drama. I wanted more dramatic scenes in here. I wanted it. And here's the thing. Yeah. The story, yes. Okay, fine. Inspired events. But how many times have we seen movies where they say inspired by events, but certain movie scenes are fiction, like they're not real, and they have to add that movie cinema effect.
I know the movie magic. I know.
And even TV shows do that. Like Netflix just does it with Narcos. I mean, there's just so many different stuff to where like we know it didn't happen like this, but it still has to be entertaining. You have to be entertaining. It's entertainment. We're in the entertainment industry. For me, I wanted more drama. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted more drama. I feel like the story was just too simple. And I feel like that they needed to add the cinema, entertainment, drama.
Well, I mean, because I could see both ways, because the way it plays out is you're seeing this club at the very beginning of the movie, that it's a strong club, it's united, it's, this group, and this is how they are. And they're quintessentially, even though they're quirky and they're gritty and all that stuff, they have their values, they have their rules, they have what they stick to, their family, loyalty, all that stuff. And then you see that progress and decline throughout. So it makes sense the way they did it. I do agree. I would have loved to see a little bit more like badass, because they are a badass. And they show it in one scene, which I wish we had seen more of. the townspeople are afraid of him because of the time period. It's the 60s
even
and 70s.
Even touch up on that. That's what I mean by the drama effect, because we only got like 1 or 2 scenes that it really shows that, and even at that, I wanted more of that. I wanted to see them being scared, the town,
influence, like the influence they had on the town,
the power that Tom Hardy has being president, and that was the thing too. They didn't really touch up on that, and I feel like that was a huge missed opportunity. This runtime for this movie is 1 hour and 56 minutes. I think that's a good amount of runtime, but again, if you would have added another 20 minutes at that drama scene, I probably would have been okay with it. I feel like I would have.
It depends on
what it was. Of course. True.
But I agree with you. I didn't love this film. I did enjoy it. I think the cast was great. I
love Tom Hardy.
I loved the format it was, because it's mainly set up to be interviewing Kathy, her perspective, almost like from the 60s,
outside. The 70s, the 60s,
mid 60s,
70s.
Mid 60s to 70s.
Yep.
And she recounts her life and about the members and what happened, and the rise and decline that she witnessed. So I will say I like the format of that. That was really cool. I do think that it may not be for everybody, because again, I think people are expecting like Sons of Anarchy level when it comes to drama,
or just more violence, to be honest.
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
That was interesting though. We didn't see too much violence. That
I know.
Was an interesting thing.
Again, this is coming from like movies, recent films, recent stuff that's been coming out with these biker films and everything. So I feel like that it definitely deserved a little bit more violent scenes for that cinema effect. Granted, it might not have happened, but I'll leave it at that, guys. Which is when we deserve, I'm saying politely say yes. Rating 1 out of 10. Tell me the highest, Angela. What are you going to give this rating?
I'll give it a solid 6.5, just because I enjoyed it. I did for what it was, and there are a lot of things I do like about it, but I didn't love it. For me, it was. It never got that momentum to really spark my interest of like, ooh, that's interesting. It was just like, okay, it's slow, it's building up. I never got that like climactic moment, if you will. So it was a little disappointing in that, but overall I think the cast did really great. I think the project was really good. I'm saddened to hear that it took another year for it to come out. I didn't know that.
Or just another 6 months.
So that sucks it was delayed, but I do think if you are into this stuff, you should really see it, because it might surprise you, because I know you're a big motorcycle fan. Motorcycle club fan. You are Austin Butler. So I think sure, why not, right? But 6.5 for me.
Okay, I'm going to give it a solid 7, and here's why, guys. The solid 7 rating is because, this movie, it's about the old filmmaking, and I love that. I love how this is filmed. It's a very different, really good shots of the bikers driving, the bikers just going through town, through the towns, and of course through like this through the fields and everything. I felt like that was very good. I felt like they really did their work on getting a lot of their shots and everything on as far as filmmaking goes. One of the things I also did really like as well was Tom Hardy's character, his character arc here. It's been a while since I loved, again, I go back to where I said it. It's been a while since I loved Tom Hardy in a movie, and this is definitely one of them. Of course, Lawless has got to be one of my favorites of his, along with other films, of course. Bane. It's just biased because I'm a Batman fan. So, but here's the thing. There's a lot of scenes where like I really did enjoy the dynamic between Austin Butler and Tom Hardy that I feel like they could have touched up on a little bit. Honestly, again, this is me. This could be me saying it, but this could have been a little bit better if it maybe was a TV show. I feel like, or maybe it may be a little one-off season or real quick, but
like a limited series?
Limited series or something. I think they would have really, because he could have gone real more into character development with all these,
or
again,
talk about the characters that didn't get enough
because I mean, Austin Butler didn't get any development. I was very upset about that. And
he did, but he didn't.
No, not really. But and then the only one really was Tom and Kathy's character. But Kathy as a, but even more so, you kind of really don't touch up. There's no like dramatic effect. There's no dramatic moment even in Kathy, and I felt like that they really had a missed opportunity here. But Jodie, she did a great job in here. I really did enjoy her a lot. She's awesome. her accent is so spot on. I was like, holy smokes,
and
because
she does not talk like that at all.
Yeah, she's a British actress from Liverpool, and I'm all like, wow, totally different. And she also looks different. So kudos to the makeup team, kudos to the costume designs, the prop teams. Everyone did a fantastic job as far as like all that goes. The authenticity of it was so good and spot on. I felt like we were transformed into that world, into that realm of the 1960s. But yeah, I'll leave it at that, guys.
Crazy that was in the time period.
Obviously, guys, we do recommend this movie, so we give this a little bit above average rating, and yes, we do recommend this movie, guys. And yeah, all right, guys, question is for you. What did you think of this Austin Butler, Tom Hardy film? Let us know in the comments down below. What do you guys think of the Bikeriders? And yeah, without further ado, guys, thank you so much for making us a part of your day. As always, I am your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan 680.
I'm Angela Dakarian.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Signing off. Have a good one, and we'll see you at the movies. Latest.